Yeah, here, let me show you my hoof of the celestial dragons. You know what I'm saying?
Ew!
More like my hoof of the celestial camels, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm literally gonna vomit. You've been out of control. You're out of control this episode.
I'm out of pocket, and I'm sorry. You know, when you wear a full law outfit, you become an outlaw. Podcast outlaw. Bounty. 69,000 berries. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast where we highlight and discuss new series each week, but we're back again with more Done Piece, which means that my name is Josh, Family Jewels Michaels, and today I am joined by...
Love Mellow. Perrine.
There you go. Wow, what an honor to have the Boa Hancock on the podcast today. Yeah, truly an honor to be in your presence, Boa.
No, yeah, you're right for saying that. Just don't put any puppies in my tracks.
Mehgan killing it once again.
I mean, this is budget. Okay, yeah. We've been pulling out the stops recently.
Yeah,
I mean, all the Patreon helps us put money into like what we're doing today.
Yeah,
but I'm going to go all out one of these days for both. There's another outfit that I really like of her that I've seen. So, I'll redeem myself.
Yeah, and does Law appear in this arc at all? No. But
Murphy's Law.
Yeah, but Murphy's Law. And I don't know if he's ever going to wear this outfit again.
Yeah.
I love him. I'm in love with him. I'm a man of the law. And
you obey the law.
I obey the law. I obey law. And I just didn't want to look up whether he appears in this outfit ever again for fear of spoiling things. So I decided to wear it today because I can.
Because why not?
No one's gonna
say anything.
No one's gonna stop me from loving my man, okay? And showing that love however I choose.
Holding it down for your mans.
Holding it down for my mans. I just want to say before we start today's episode that I am so excited to talk about this arc. I'm excited to talk about every arc. I just want to say that, like, for me, this series, this community, I have just been so, like, rejuvenated, reinvigorated, and am truly just, like, overjoyed and filled with joy by this series. Like, I'm so excited every time we sit down to talk about it again.
I'm just consistently blown away at how much I have grown to love it. I mean, like we said, I think in the first video that we ever did, maybe even before, I kind of did not expect to like it as much as I do. And it is just like, obviously the story and all the world building is fantastic, but the connection I have with these characters and, you know, like Law, like other characters we haven't seen in a long time, just knowing that like we might be able to see them down the road and how have they've grown. And I'm just so excited because of these characters and how much I've just loved them.
Yeah, I mean, this arc, you know, it's a shorter arc. We decided to dedicate a whole video to it just so we could really talk about everything. And you know, I just have to say that I loved this arc so much. I mean, it was definitely a lot different than these like heavy lore dump arcs have been before. You know, it was a different type of love and experience. But I more so just love that we got to spend all this time with Luffy and just with Luffy. I love the Straw Hats so much, and I've said in previous videos, I love maybe certain Straw Hats at times more than Luffy, but here I found like a new appreciation and love, which I have been finding as we go deeper and deeper and deeper into this series. But especially with this arc, like my heart grew more for Luffy, and it was a lot of stuff was goofy, a lot of stuff was crazy, a lot of stuff was a little lewd. But like Luffy himself, like just getting a moment away from everybody else, and for the story to just kind of focus on him and this adventure. I really had a blast. I
mean, we had talked about previously, like, what's going to happen to Luffy. Like, is he going to be, like, down in the dumps? Is he going to be the same Luffy as he was before this fight? And, I mean, it pretty much is the same. He didn't really change that much. He did, like, kind of, you know, you could feel the emotion when he was talking about his crew and how he got to that island. but the determination, helping others before himself, and I really liked how they focused on, him really, we've seen it before, but, it's just Luffy now, and he can do what he can do, but him wishing and depending on his crewmates, like, oh, I wish Frankie was here. Oh, I wish Sanji was here to cook me food. Like, oh, if Usopp was here, he'd know what to do. Like, all these people that he's depended on, and he even said, like, I wouldn't have made it this far without my crew. And it was just, like, solidified, like, damn. Like, Luffy is great, but he is so much greater with the Straw Hats.
Yeah, I think that's when, he's at his best, when he's allowed to do what he does best. Mm-hmm. He surrounds himself with people who do what they do best.
Exactly.
And I do miss them, and I did love. I mean, that's the thing. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So at the end of this arc, when it does cut to them and where they're at, scattered all over the place, I did feel this excitement of just getting to see them again and getting to see their adventures. But again, I like that I got the time here with Luffy. I again am so excited to talk about this arc. But before we get to that, I do want to read our highlighted comment of the day, which comes from Ishu Divan, who says, my favorite foreshadowing bit in the story is that Ray Lee's first appearance was in Buggy's flashback in chapter 19. Telling people it and seeing their reaction never gets old. And that's another thing too. There was another comment that someone said that you can see Hachi and Kami or Kami. And we did go back and watch the anime, and we did, read a lot of your comments. You guys were great. And
we
very
got
helpful.
So many comments saying you guys have to watch, the punch that could be heard around the world.
Oh, and we did.
Which, was awesome. I mean, that was probably one of the best moments in the anime that I've seen so far.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, they had to do justice to that, iconic, just powerful panel spread, and they did. I mean, they really did. But I went back and I looked, and I'll throw a picture in the video version of this. I'll throw a picture up, and it's just so crazy. I mean, just how Oda, I'm sure, has planned all of this out, and if he hasn't planned everything out in detail, he is aware of a character's existence and their design, and maybe figures out their story as time goes on.
And sometimes, people point out things that he didn't even notice either. I'm so shocked that you found that out. Oh, that character, meet his twin brother. I was like, what a cop-out, Oda. You're so funny.
Or he's so funny. Or someone will give, an elaborate explanation to why a character is somewhere or what it must mean, and he'll be like, you know what? Actually, yes. For sure.
My favorite,
that's 100% it.
My favorite is when people suggest birthdays for characters and they put so much thought into them, and he's like, that's it. I'm making that canon. And it's just so cute.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
And during this whole time, we kind of, I don't know if we even really talked about the SBS last time, but we're seeing CP9 regrow and regroup and kind of become better people.
I mean, seems like something is happening, and I do, again, just osmosis. I do know that it might not be the last that we've seen of certain characters.
Oh God.
Yeah. But I mean, I am very careful of spoilers. Hence why I didn't want to look up if Law ever wore this outfit again, because I was like, I'm just asking for it at this point.
You are, yeah.
I mean, let's just go through it. I mean, like we said, this is a shorter arc, but a lot does happen, and a lot of the world does expand. A lot of things are explained. Things got real last time, and things get a different kind of real at the beginning of this one. And really quickly, of course, just so that it is said, of course, this is Amazon Lily arc, chapters 514 through 524.
Amazon, bygone.
yeah. But yeah, so it opens up again on Sapoti.
Oh God!
Yeah, here we go.
Oh my God! We've gotten so many comments making fun of us, not only on a personal level, but on where we reside as well.
Yeah, but people are being. I mean, I can take it, and people are being pretty cool about it, and people are being pretty funny about it. So I appreciate it.
I'm sorry. I don't think I've heard the word. I personally.
That was the crazy thing is people like, this is a very common English word. I was like, where did you live?
No, they're like, if you learn anything about Hawaii, you would know this word.
I'm sorry, you get to go to Hawaii.
And I was like, no.
I'm sorry, you've been to Hawaii. Guess what? I've never been to Hawaii.
I've never been, but they said if you got taught anything from being it.
I'm sorry. I missed the Hawaii class. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
In high school. Okay. It must have been when I dropped out. Okay. Maybe that's why I can't say. Maybe that's why I can't say acapella.
Acapella.
I want to acapella go to Hawaii, but guess what? It's not in the budget.
Oh, that was pretty good. Hopefully they won't burn us now, even though they've given us so many opportunities to get this word right, huh?
You know, they've been cool. They've been fun and fun, and I'm having fun. I like it.
Yeah, we're back. We're back in the bubble.
Yeah, but it just kind of shows everybody, and it just kind of shows, you know, Duval and how he's going to be there protecting the Thousand Sunny, Celestial Dragons back at the auction house. One of the Celestial Dragons says this line, I want to make the Straw Hats suffer the agonies of hell. And these people really got a stick up there, you know what? Vagina.
I mean, how many are there? I'm like really curious. Like
Celestial Dragons?
Yeah.
I mean,
do they all dress like Bubbles, or is that just like the fashion sense for Sabadobi?
I mean, maybe they're just, you know, I mean, they're just, there's a lot of them, I'm sure. I mean, it's a lineage, it's a family, a big family, I'm assuming. And you know, people with money dress crazy, okay? But I do think that the Bubbles is because they believe that they're too good to breathe the air of the common man. So that's why, I mean, I think they said that in the previous arc too. Like, they just don't want to, they think so little of people that they're like, I don't even want to breathe the same freaking air as you want to pay for my air.
That's deep.
Yeah, I mean, rich people go to oxygen bars all the time, and it's like, okay, I guess. So like, you can get high off oxygen. I'm like, you can get high off glue. Dude, you're going to go to an oxygen bar.
Yeah, but like, will oxygen like ruin your brain? Kill your brain cells?
I don't know. I'm not a freaking scientist. I sniff too much glue.
Yeah, I was like, I think you know. But yeah, we get back, and she's just like, yada, yada, yada. I mean, okay, cool. Like, you're off of their radar.
Well, I'm more so worried about what they're capable of because of their resources. Like, I don't care about them as like powerful people, but I mean, they know? Yeah, they have their hand in the military forces of the world government. Like, I'm just, you know, more worried about what they, not that.
But when has that stopped the Straw Hats before?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I mean, it hasn't. It's put a little bit
Wrench.
of a, well, I mean, yeah, it's just kind of slowed it down a little bit, but I was worried about Luffy. I really was, and we got a comment about it too, saying that he was, you know, it's going to take a lot more than that to knock a guy like Luffy down. And I agree. I do think that it would take more than that, but I mean, this was a lot, and seeing that, you know, in the last arc, the sheer horror and you know, disparity in his voice. I mean, I was worried about him. I didn't know if he was going to be, I mean, you know, just because he's made out of rubber, I didn't know if he was going to bounce back from that kind of emotional trauma. You know, seeing your friends get blipped in front of you, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's hard to come back from that, but he did.
I mean, he
was able to.
He did. I mean, he still wants to grow and become stronger, but he is still ever vigilant, and he is still just as equally as excited and passionate about like becoming stronger so he can protect the people that he cares the most about. But I mean, it cuts to everybody. We get Shaki's rip-off bar, and there's an interesting line here. Dangerous waters from here on, a big wave like no one's ever seen is heading this way.
The times are about to be as tough as the seas. Baller.
I mean, this is some baller, writing.
This is some pirate shit.
This is truly pirate shit right
like,
here.
we get pirate shit, like, you know, we sometimes forget. I mean, for me, I don't know about you, but like, I don't know, like when I read One Piece sometimes, like when it hits that pirate shit, like I could smell the sea, you know, like I could like, taste the salt on my tongue, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I find myself, like really feeling that pirate energy the deeper and deeper you get and you go into it. And especially, like we got to meet all these new characters last time, and I'm just so fucking hyped on all of these characters, and you know, the worst generation and all these people, which the worst generation just reminds me really quick. I mean, I just got to 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. But I mean, there's a One Piece card game coming out, and one of the starter decks you can get is the worst generation. You can get the Straw Hat deck. You can get the Warlords of the Sea deck. You can get the worst generation deck. And then you can get the animal something starter deck. And all I'm saying is I've been a TCG head, Magic the Gathering all day, son. And I'm trying to play. So you best believe when them cards get dropped over here in the States, picking up booster boxes, booster packs, playing that and opening that on the channel. Just wanted to say, I don't know if you guys are aware. I'm sure most of you are. And I just want to know if any of you are excited for this.
And if you are playing it, if you get any and all Chopper cards, I will be willing to trade or buy.
Yeah. She'll give you, what are you willing to give up? Like a wig for a Chopper? Is that fair?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe just money.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'll just buy them. But if you're willing to send them to me, that would be great too.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just so excited, and just want to know if anybody else out there is excited for that game too. All original manga art or original art, maybe not manga art, but original art for the cards too. Love it. Here for it all day. Anyway,
let's go.
Cuts back to Luffy, and this man has been flying for days through the sky.
Yeah, I like that line too. Like, obviously he's flying through and you kind of know, he even asked like, oh, I think maybe, hopefully the other members are doing the same thing that I'm doing. But then he kind of realizes soon like, oh, if I stop falling or flying, like I'm going to die.
Drown, yeah.
Because he's literally flying over the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, but it is so funny to see how Kuma's, or just the other end of it, we've seen the horror of someone vanishing before your eyes.
Yeah.
Then cutting to them just like for days.
Straight line and just
sleeping
in the air.
Yeah, when he fell asleep in the air and he was just kind of chilling and relaxed. I was like, Luffy, if anybody needs a day off, it's Luffy.
That's
dude.
true.
That man is a workaholic, okay? He is kind of just every day for Luffy is
but
a day
he works
off.
hard and he plays hard,
Yeah, he plays too hard. You know what I mean? And he's about to play a lot harder right now. But he goes to
Stupid.
He goes to this strange island, and I love even the attention to detail that Oda puts into how these powers work. I mean, it could be something as simple as maybe when people see the Kuma paw print, and how it leaves its mark on the earth. Maybe it's just like, well, yeah, I mean, it's a force, he's getting repelled. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I see that and I think like, okay, like, is there any clues in this that will make me understand how his powers work better? I don't know. Like, I'm just, Luffy didn't just land or Luffy didn't just fall. Like, it was this like very, it was specific choice to this paw print crater. Mm-hmm. And that just makes me more curious. I'm a curious mind,
Yeah, did he like already go there and plant? Well,
I mean, definitely he did.
Is he able to use it on himself?
Well, no, I mean, I think it was the impact when it's not. I don't think that Luffy, and look, this is my theory. Okay, Mehgan, you've been. I don't want to say it, but you've been right more than I have. Okay,
interesting.
But
you did say it though, didn't you?
I can cut it out, and I might. But I do think that the impact caused like. There's some force propelling Luffy, and when that force made contact with the earth, it was an invisible force of some sort, and when it made contact with earth, it caused the shape of that paw print to form. And I think when Luffy impacted, that's when that paw print was created. Although I could see it used as some sort of like teleportation thing, or like some sort of like it's repelling. Maybe he does put a paw print somewhere else, and then it, kind of is used as some sort of guidance system to take people from island to island.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so I'm saying like
it's just kind of like a nice. I mean, obviously, if you weren't like the Straw Hats, you weren't able to defend yourself. Some of the places you would get zipped to would be pretty bad. Mm-hmm. But for them, I feel like they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, the only one I'm really worried about in this case is everybody seems to be fine. Everybody seems to be kind of thriving where they're at, and that's what I want to talk about later too. Is coincidentally they all landed somewhere that I feel like is going to benefit them. So it does lend itself to more Kuma theories, like what is actually going on and what is, because Kuma sent them somewhere and he seems to have sent everyone somewhere that's going to make them stronger.
Yes. And also I thought that his power was he had asked them where they wanted to go first, but that's not the case. So he just asked and then he would send. Because we later see my theory correct.
Okay, it's bold to say that.
Where Perona got sent.
Yeah, Perona got sent to where she wanted to get sent to.
Exactly.
Which again, we get to see Perona. That was crazy. She got sent where she wanted to be sent to, but I don't think the Straw Hats answered Kuma.
No, they didn't. That's my point.
So he just made a choice.
Yeah, based off of who they look like.
Wow, he profiled them.
Yeah, he profiled.
them.
He. I was gonna make a bear joke. I couldn't think of anything.
Okay.
Puff, like fur.
He paw-filed them. That sounds like he.
That sounds bad. Let's move on.
But it does lend itself to more just, I don't know, like questions. I don't know. And I love it because it could have just been, again, just with Luffy arriving at this island, it could have just been him crashing into a wall and just the extra thought put into it. Masterpiece. Anyway, so he lands and his plan is to follow the Vivir paper to get back to Rayleigh. Everybody has a piece of it, so they'll be able to sort of navigate their way back.
Which is clutch.
Very clutch, very, good thing Rayleigh gave him that paper right before they got, teleported. Luffy, being hungry guy.
Eats a pig raw.
Yeah, eats a pig raw. And talks about how like Garp was, this reminds me of when my grandpa left me in the jungle or something. As a part of like some sort of training. Garp was always just kind of putting them through hell, I think, to make them stronger.
I mean, it kind of worked.
Yeah, I mean,
or
it
Luffy's
definitely
just
worked.
deranged because of all the crazy behavior. That's another theory.
I mean, I don't think Luffy's deranged, dude. I think he's the most sane person alive. How about that?
I don't know about that.
I think he really is the most sane person alive. So this is where okay, in the last episode we talked about, oh man, we didn't expect to see slavery in One Piece. Oh, we didn't expect to see freaking, racism in One Piece. Well, I also didn't expect to see Luffy's dick in One Piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or ass, more specifically.
No, his ass. Yeah, they didn't show it. They just kind of talked about it. But, well, I thought you were going to say Amazonian women. I thought that's where you're relating it to, not Luffy's dick.
Which, I mean, that was a crazy thing. I mean, yeah, we'll get there when we get there. I actually loved it, and I actually love Luffy's response and reaction to all of it.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, imagine if freaking Sanji's little
perv ass went there.
He'd be game over. He would have been probably killed really soon, really instantly.
Sanji would have freaking literally rocketed, out of that, island's atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He would have just been like, oh, all the way,
with his feet, with his kick, or
yeah.
How would he? With what?
Maybe he's a chef, so maybe creme fraiche. You know what I'm saying?
Literally gonna fucking throw up. Are we past the time?
Sure.
Sure. I'm sorry.
But you thought I was gonna say I didn't expect to see Amazonians here. I mean, not that I didn't expect it or did expect it. I mean, it fits to me in the world of One Piece. I mean, he's basically on Themyscira, which I love.
Which is Wonder Woman?
Yeah. It's the island that they're from. And, a lot of similarities between, the Amazon Lily Island and Themyscira, being that they don't allow men and their reasons for that, and just that they are a warrior. I mean, they're Amazons, and Amazons, go beyond DC Comics, okay? It goes back to its mythology,
I just thought it was funny. They just like, every couple, years, one of them goes out to sea and then comes back pregnant. And I'm like, they really just go off the island.
Yeah.
Get busy.
Yeah, but they probably hate it.
Well, yeah, because they're like, I have no idea what the outside world looks like at all.
Yeah, that's also just like the implications of that are crazy. Like they've never seen a man, and then they have to like have a baby. Unless they don't, unless it's some, maybe they eat the baby fruit or something. I don't know.
All of them?
Yeah.
They split it up into little chunks.
Yeah, there's like baby fruit. There's like cute mode, and then there's like baby fruit ugly mode. And you have an ugly baby. Different kind of modes.
Ugly mode.
Look, I loved this island, its inhabitants. I think it makes sense.
Mhm.
It fits so well in the world of One Piece. I absolutely loved when Marguerite, Sweet Pea, and Afalandra show up.
I love Marguerite.
Marguerite's the best.
She's so cute.
She really is. They show up because Luffy's eating a bunch of mushrooms.
And he has expressed that he loves mushrooms. It is canon that Luffy loves mushrooms. He goes, "Oh, this is perfect for when you're doing nothing." That's what he said.
That's. I mean, that tracks. That's cool. Yeah, you got to stay consistent. It would have been crazy if he just if Oda just reverse engineered this whole mushroom thing just to tell a dick joke. But maybe he planted it hundreds of chapters ago.
No,
because he wanted to tell the best dick joke ever told.
Yeah, he definitely planted that.
Wow.
He could have bid anything on that. Berries,
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. But it's at least it's true to Luffy's character.
At least it's a payoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I mean, what did you think? I mean, when this happened, it was crazy, right? Like they think he's a girl because he's covered in mushrooms. Then men aren't allowed on this island, so they take him back to their village, city, and they try to burn the mushrooms off at the root. And then they all huddle around him and they go, "There's one more between his legs."
It looks weird between her legs.
And your thing is confirmed. Where when you asked about, or maybe Oda has confirmed it in an SBS, I think he did, but your question and wanting to get to know more about these Straw Hat genitals, okay, as part of our CPP9, what do you call it, division that we're forming, she confirmed that. She's like, I keep trying to pull it off, but all it does is stretch. And it doesn't stop stretching. Wow.
It's confirmed. We finally got confirmation, and he did confirm it a while ago, but I knew it.
Yeah. It has to.
Yeah, there's everything else. Like literally everything else.
This might be all over the place, but I do want to mention really quickly. I don't know. I was thinking about, dicks, and I was it made me think of Zoro, and then that erect Zoro figure.
God, dude.
Which is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It's like $300.
And someone's buying it. I mean, look, I
don't
know
a lot of people are buying it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I cannot put a picture up.
Please look it up. I mean, if you are curious, just look it up because it's literally the most insane thing. Like, are they going to create a series? Like, this is going to be for everyone?
Please no.
I feel like.
Please no. No. Because again, the thing isn't that he's naked because there's all those statues, there's those freaking, Greek statues or whatever.
Yeah.
It's that he's erect. Okay.
Yeah. And it's not flash, it's full on.
And it's just it looks
aggressive.
Real and aggressive.
It's aggressive. Like the whole stance, it's very aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's on a rubble.
Yeah. Another person in the comments said that a theory that Zoro keeps getting lost, because remember how he talked about one of his blades being cursed or something like that? That part of the curse is that it's, that's him always getting lost is in some way tied to this curse.
Is that a theory?
It's a theory.
Oh.
Not confirmed.
Yeah, I was or maybe he's just a little dumb.
I mean, you could be dumb if you're strong and
hot.
You got, you know what I'm saying? He's freaking four.
And you got a four. Yeah, I was about to say.
And I put that thing in my mouth. Like that. Sideways.
Gosh.
I'm sorry. I'm having fun. A little too much, I know, but
Amazon Lily. What a great episode, huh?
This is when they, take her Luffy back to the village, and Grandma Nyan.
She's like, Nyan.
Yeah, she's like, that is a man. That is not no woman. That is a man. And, yeah, everybody kind of freaks out. They put him in a cell. That's where Luffy starts talking. They ask him more questions about his balls. It's you said you watched it in the anime.
Yeah, they say balls.
In the manga, they say family jewels.
She's like, what is that? Marguerite's like, what is that? Flesh, pocket or like sewn onto you. I was like, ugh, why are they saying it like this? And then he's like, oh, these, you never seen balls before? And all of them go, balls? And he goes, yeah, balls. They're my family jewels. And they go, oh my God. And they're like, can you open it so we could see the jewels? And he's like, hell no, you trying to kill me? And then they're like, it's a reoccurring joke, which I thought was really funny because they don't understand the concept of balls.
Look, it was really funny. I think Family Jewels is a little funnier in the manga. Balls is hilarious.
The fact that Luffy's like, oh, you haven't seen balls before?
Because Luffy would just call him ball. I mean, because like calling him Family Jewels would mean he was trying to be kind of coy about it, you know?
Yeah.
But Luffy has no tact, so he would just be like, balls. You know,
or it's like, oh, family jewels. Someone was tall. Like it's like a dad tells his like son like something like cute and funny to not say balls.
Yeah,
you know, he's like, oh, the family. Those are your family jewels. He's like, family jewels.
I mean, I've heard the term family jewels.
Yeah, me too.
Many a time. Why they're named for balls? I mean, I guess I get it, but you know,
because the family resides inside.
Yeah, it's the ballroom. Where the family resides.
Where the dances begin.
Yeah. I come to the ballroom. We're having a party. But it was very funny. I mean, you know, even Family Jewels was very funny. They try to execute him. They try to shoot arrows through the cage.
Yeah, because he gets mad. He gets pretty... Because they give him a cute little new vest because this goes on torn out. They put like frills on it. And he gets really upset for some reason. I feel like Luffy wouldn't really care about clothing, but... Apparently he has a fashion sense. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently. And I just want to say that cross-stitching embroidered
was
vest
sick.
Fire.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know what he was talking about.
And this is why Luffy didn't make it into the best drip episode, okay? That's why Law did. You know what I'm saying?
Respect, yeah.
But that vest was fire.
Yeah, it was. And he got mad, and then they're all like, this is what men do. This is their true nature. And then he gets out of the situation pretty quickly.
But he does take Marguerite with him because he needs to get that Vivier paper out of his old pants.
Mm-hmm. Marguerite's she's kind of on his side at this point.
At this point, she goes back and forth a little bit, right? Like she's
more curious, I would say. Yeah. She's curious more than like picking sides.
Yeah, but towards the end of their interaction here in the jungle, she does kind of turn on him again. But she ultimately, I guess, yeah, you're right. She does she's really on the fence, but leaning more towards like curious, being on his side, helping him. And then by the end, of course, fully coming around. He talks to her a little bit about, you know, where he's at, what's going on, everything. She kind of gives him the rundown. He asks about a ship. He says he needs a ship. Do they have pirates? Do they have ships? She says they do. And they're the Kuja pirates, captained by the Snake Princess. And they're actually on their way back as we speak. And the other Amazons see the ship and
freak out,
start to panic because they need to take care of Luffy and his family jewels before the Boa Hancock gets back. Now, about Boa Hancock before... let me just make a note right there not to forget about the Boa Hancock. About Boa Hancock. Okay. Being a part of the One Piece fandom and enjoying the series, as we've been enjoying it, you see things around. You start to see One Piece figures that you start to recognize and characters you start to recognize, and you want to, start, collecting more of these things. So I can't remember exactly where we were at in One Piece, but I saw a Boa Hancock figure, and my immediate thought was, when does Robin change her name to Boa Hancock?
Yeah, when does Robin change her name? Because it wouldn't be so far-fetched, because we had Alma Sunday.
Yeah.
Right? Alma Sunday, or was it
Miss All Sunday?
Miss All Sunday. So I was like, okay, Robin. Okay, she changes her name again when the time skip. Okay.
Yeah. No, completely different character.
No, and also we did find out that Robin has brown eyes in the manga, and they changed it to blue. So even in the anime, like, they look so similar.
Yeah.
Because they both have blue eyes. Like, it's just crazy.
It is crazy how similar they look. Thankfully, I think Boa is enough of her own character that she does feel very separate from Robin. But if you know nothing about this character and you just look at her, I mean, it's Robin. It's just Robin.
Robin with like snake earrings.
Yeah.
And a split part.
Yeah, Oda was like, I need a new character. Let me just split Robin's bangs down the middle and call it a day. But this is a character that I think, for me at least, I feel like a lot of the fans really love. A lot of the community really loves Boa Hancock. I mean, I could tell from the fan art. But I was nervous meeting her because I didn't know if she was going to live up to these expectations.
And the hype was, she was super hyped up.
And I really liked her a lot.
She was really, she had a lot of layers as a character.
Yeah.
Because you thought obviously most of the time with Oda, like it is that, you think of the character one way and then they sway you to a different way. But she went through, I feel like I got a lot from her in this volume.
So much, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, like you said, she just has layers. She's a very real person who has had a very hard life. Mm-hmm. And even her sort of this like attitude that seems to carry, there's a reason that she acts this way. Mm-hmm. And, you empathize with her, you feel for her, by the end, you are charmed by her as well. Not for the reason that everybody else is charmed by her.
Yeah.
But, she is very cute. And just how she responds at the end to Luffy and how what their relationship turns into. I mean, it was like, she was not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah.
And I loved everything she ended up being.
Yeah, she is very cute. And, everyone loves a good ice princess.
Mm-hmm. I loved her. And she's on her way back to the island. And Marguerite kind of gives Luffy a little rundown of the island. It's in the Calm Belt, so there are a lot of sea monsters there. But,
it's like their breeding ground, right?
Yeah, it's their breeding ground.
So no one wants to go over there.
Well,
there's rules, right? There's rules set aside to who can...
Now, yeah, so this island was kind of formed around the Calm Belt. Or this island, the Calm Belt is around this island. Mm-hmm. And, because of the sea monsters, it being their breeding ground by coincidence, I guess, that, nobody ever really traveled there. And the sea monsters were enough to keep people away. But they said now that the sea prism stones and things like that exist, mm-hmm. These sea monsters aren't as much of a problem as they used to be. So now... people, not just the government, but anybody who gets their hands on a sea prism stone, which isn't easy to get your hands on, I guess, can come to that island and can, cause problems. So they made a deal. Boa, by becoming a warlord of the sea, made a deal that in return, the, military will keep their dealings and other people, help keep other people outside of this place. Mm-hmm. And that's why, Nyan, is that the old lady's name?
Neon.
Nyan. That's why she's so upset, because she's, when Boa first, and we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but when Boa first turns down this request or summons, mm-hmm. Nyan gets upset because it would mean jeopardizing this agreement. Mm-hmm. And that's what she cares about more. Being a former empress herself.
Ooh. And that was, her and Boa, in the first couple chapters that you meet her, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
She is cold.
I do love, she's cold, but I do love.
It's so out of pocket, that little, okay. So they're on their way. They're meeting pirates on the way there, right?
Yeah. So, just to get back on track, to get there,
because they really want to get to that.
Yeah. So the other Amazons kind of come because they're like, oh shit, Boa's coming. They start shooting all these arrows at Luffy. Luffy notices that these arrows are just like, penetrating stone and breaking trees, and he's like, how these must be super powered arrows made of some rare material, and he like snaps them. He's like, no, they're wood. And then Marguerite is like, they're like enveloped in hockey. Like, of course they are. And Luffy's like
everyone knows what hockey is. He's like, huh?
Yeah, and she's like, you don't know what hockey is? And already I'm just sitting there, I'm reading, I'm like, hockey.
Hockey, give it to Poppy.
Yeah, give Poppy some hockey. because I've been waiting for Luffy ever since he started analyzing sort of the movements of CP9 and doing the whole gear thing.
You're like, oh, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, once I learned about hockey, I was like, okay, when's Luffy going to get his hands on this?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so I was really excited. That's when Vice Admiral Manga summons Boa and so summons her to Marineford for the execution of Ace.
And it's like mandatory, right? All of them have to go, or else they're gonna get their title revoked.
They're gonna get their title revoked, and in the case of Boa, she's gonna get the agreement is gonna be nullified to protect Amazon Lily, or to just keep out of Amazon Lily. And that goes for all of them. And you know, Boa doesn't want her title revoked, and she doesn't, but she also just doesn't want to be a part of this. And we find out why later.
Yeah. And she's also like, I don't give a shit. I don't like listen to the government like at all.
Yeah. And
like,
again,
why would I go?
She has a great reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and Oda has done a character, and this was kind of my initial fear with Boa. Should never doubt Oda. Not that I ever do, but when I, first saw Boa, I mean, he had kind of done that a little bit with Alvida when she got her, new kind of form. And she was this character that went around as just, this beautiful woman that used her beauty, in a way to weaponized her beauty against everybody else. But so when I saw Boa initially just be Boa was a little more aggressive and a little, she was more, I don't know, rough around the edges.
Yeah.
But what she ended up becoming, it was like, it was so much better than sort of how Alvida handled that being beautiful and how Oda handled the character of Alvida. I think Boa, her character just shines, especially after her like troubling past.
No, yeah. I mean, she is probably one of my favorite warlords so far.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'm super excited to see, I mean, obviously more of her after this. And it was so great to get to know like her and her sisters and the reason for, why she's doing what she's doing in the first place. Like really solid.
Yeah. And when we meet Boa for the first time, we also meet her sisters, the Gorgon sisters, Marigold and Sandersonia, who look like giant Amazonian. Even when they're not in their snake forms, they look like snakes.
Yeah.
I like their character design too. At first, when I saw them on the cover, I was like, oh, who are these people? But I really like them too.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. So yeah, Boa not only refuses, but she ends up turning this whole crew to stone.
And her first introduction, mind you, is her kicking a kitten on the ship.
Yeah.
Like,
but I love the way it was set up.
Like, what?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I love, like, she's rough around the edges and she's, a little harsher, a little meaner, but I love the way it's set up. She's a beautiful woman.
Dumb.
There's a little cat or a little kitten and you're like, oh my God, that must be hers. And she's just like, bam, like who put this kitten in my path? Love it. Love it. I mean, don't love kicking kittens, but I just love,
That introduction was unforgettable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was so wild. But she turns the crew to stone, and
she looks down so much she actually looks up.
That was so funny too.
She looks down on you so much she actually looks up.
And the Vice Admiral says, "You know what? I'm gonna still stay here because I can't go back empty-handed. So you turn my whole crew to stone. You're refusing my offer. You know what's gonna happen if you do. I'm gonna wait a couple days
till you come back.
Till you come to your senses.
Yeah.
Okay. She this is when Neon pleads with Boa, and says like, please, like you have to keep the island's well-being in mind. Like you're making this decision, it's a personal decision and it's not a personal matter. This is a matter of like our island's future
livelihood
and safety. And then that's when we find out that she was a former empress herself. Then there's the whole, welcome back sort of ceremony that Boa has, and bath time with Boa. Okay.
Bath time with Boa and her sissies.
This was pretty interesting too, because I didn't know what was being set up. The island is under the impression that the reason everybody vacates the castle whenever Boa or the sisters have to bathe.
Yeah, like immediately. Like, so I just started eating. Like, no, you got to go right now.
Mm-hmm. Initially, I thought this was another thing that had to do with beauty. Like, Boa didn't want anybody to see her. But then a girl asks for the story and is told the story of the legend of the Gorgon and how the sisters slayed it, but became cursed and now have these like eyes on their back. And if anybody's in the vicinity of these eyes, they're immediately turned to stone. And I did for a second,
believe it. I bought it. I bought
too.
it for sure. I was like, oh, that's so like nice of them because it's like obviously if anyone's in the castle, they have like they could get turned to stone. I was like, that's sick.
I mean, my mind went like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, so Oda's introducing something up again. Devil fruits have been the source of everyone's power up until this point. Oda's seeming to have introduced the fact that curses and that, and that legends of these Gorgon and enchanted creatures can cause one to be in possession of powers greater than any devil fruit user.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
And I was kind of going off.
And
then Oda was like, psych.
Oda was like, silence.
I can't remember who said it, but someone else was like, it's always devil fruits. I love that. It's fine. It's not
or
hockey. But the joke being like, the funny thing being that like I always get tricked. Like what could be the cause of someone having this ability? And then it's like devil fruits, of course.
Or there are just crazy people in One Piece too. You're either tricked with like they don't have a devil fruit or they do.
Yeah.
It's no in between.
Yeah. It's just funny that he always tricks me. Luffy, being Luffy, crashes. He's like, tall buildings equal important people. So I'm going to crash through the tallest building I can find.
I mean, he's not wrong.
That's what I'm saying. He's smart and he's
the most sane person alive.
Most sane person alive. So he crashes through the castle and sees Boa's mark. And Boa is not happy about that, and that's sort of left at a mystery for the audience. But Boa does get upset and try to use her power on Luffy, and Luffy is immune at this point.
Yeah, I drew it. His classic face when
show the camera.
I don't know if you could see it. The classic face when like someone's power doesn't work on him. That like tucked in mouth. It's so hilarious. He's like dripping with water, and she's just like love mellow, and he's just like. This is embarrassing.
I love it. Again, this arc made me fall really in love with Luffy. Not that I didn't love him before. I had grown to respect him. But this arc made me kind of like love him. So Luffy gets taken to this like Coliseum type of thing, and Marguerite and her gang get punished for helping Luffy in the first place. They kind of come and they kind of confess and they say like, we were the ones that brought him back here, blah, blah, blah. So they all get turned to stone, and Luffy does not like that.
No, he's
because they've been his friends.
Yeah, they've been his friends. They've been helping him out. He doesn't like injustices to people. Like obviously anyone in power taking advantage of that on, innocent people, not Luffy's forte, not Luffy's vibe at all. And he really tells Boa, like, I hate you. Like,
he looks at her, you make me sick.
And she's like, oh, she dies. And she's like, no one's ever talked to me like that. She's a masochist too.
Yeah, I mean, Luffy's out here just negging women. You know what I mean? Luffy just read the what's it called? The player's handbook or whatever.
Yeah. But unintentionally.
Yeah.
He's not even thinking about any of that.
No.
That's the best part about it.
That's the only way it works. I mean, you can't, you know what I mean? You can't. Oh, The Game was the name of the book.
That's a real book?
Yeah, the game. The game. And the book that tells you to go up to women and be like, that's so crazy that you think you could pull that dress off, like just like you're insulting them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, guys,
it didn't work.
That's why women chose to be on an island alone without any men, because they write books like The Game.
Yeah. And have podcasts.
And it sells well.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is the sadder thing, and have crazy podcasts.
Yikes.
Yeah. Anyway, so Luffy's gonna protect anybody that has helped him and been kind to him in any way, shape, or form. Like you said, people abusing their power or people just being taken advantage of, not being able to stand up for themselves. Luffy's always gonna stand up for those people. Yeah, the weak. And he said, "You make me sick." And Boa sicks her sisters on him, and you find out they have these
like a snake.
Like six. Oh yeah, that's good. The first time you did it,
her
the first time you did it sounded like you had a lot of saliva. Yeah.
Anyway, the Snake Sisters are on the move, and they're after Luffy. 100%.
The Anaconda model and the King Cobra model.
Yeah, and they both ate the snake fruit.
Yeah, but it's different modes. Right. So there's
the cute mode and the ugly.
Yeah, and we know which sister ate what. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's mean.
I didn't say which one. I didn't say anything. You're inferring a lot, and that is not fair.
You read the game, huh?
Yeah, I read the game. I read the game. Yikes. Now, immediately when I see King Cobra model, I'm like, where's the 40s at? You know?
Oh.
Just kidding. Back on track.
Just kidding.
For real this time.
Edward 40 Hands.
Edward 40 Hands. Back on track.
What bad did?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what Luffy was doing when he was in Skypiea.
Yeah, he totally was. Yeah. I don't know if I made a joke. Probably not. Maybe I just thought about it.
Yeah, maybe you just thought about it. It was a crazy thing to just think about.
What? Edward 40 Hands?
No, I mean, just in that arc, just thinking like,
oh, damn, Luffy's Edward 40 Hands in it, yeah.
Fucking Edward 40 Hands over here. Fucking, he's got this like giant bell, and he's in the sky with this sky battle and fighting this freaking like electricity devil fruit, wannabe god. Freaking Edward 40 Hands over here.
Mita,
Edward 40 Hands. During this fight too, we get to see Luffy really going out of his way to protect these statues too, which I thought was a really, really cool thing for him to do. He always does stuff like this. But
conscious though. Yeah. I mean, there would have always, if the Straw Hats were fighting, someone else would have done that.
Yeah.
But he took it upon himself to do that because it's like, okay, if I accidentally knock one of these over, then it's my fault, like 100%.
Yeah, and Luffy can get hurt by these sisters because of their hockey.
Yeah.
And is very frustrated and getting beat down pretty bad. And he screams, "Stop it." And he accidentally unleashes hockey. His hockey.
And it's not just like, some normal hockey. They're like, oh my God, this hockey, we never felt this power hockey before. It must be, what is it? One of the kings, what did he say? I mean,
they said that they have felt it, and that this is exactly what it said in the Viz translation. It is felt to be that of the supreme king, the hockey of the chosen ones. Only 1 in a million has it.
Ooh.
And apparently Boa has it, or something similar to it, because she's like, oh, he has the same hockey that I do, which gives me more questions in the phrasing of, what exactly is hockey? Because I thought it was just some sort of energy.
Yeah.
But if there's different types of it and it comes from different places, I mean, what is it?
What really is hockey?
What is it? It's a game that you play.
Is it in the game?
Is what in the game?
Hockey, the use of hockey in the book.
In the game. I thought you were talking about the One Piece card game, but you're talking about the game. Written by a pickup artist named, I think, Mystery.
Mystery?
Yeah, that's his name. Mr. E. Yeah. For real. He invented peacocking, negging, all this stuff. Really genius guy, ahead of his time. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I was just kidding.
The fact that you know his name.
Because he had a show. He got a show and they played it on MTV. It was one of those shows where he would just they'd just be so mean to I guess nerdier guys, and they'd take them out to clubs and try to, I don't even want to go down this rabbit hole. It was a sad time for television. Anyway, yeah. So Luffy admits hockey, but for this, at this point, it's by accident. It's something he's not aware of even doing, I don't think.
No, he doesn't realize.
Yeah, I don't think he realizes at all. And if so, it was clearly something he can't control, and it was by accident for sure. But because of that, he's like, all right, I'm not taking it easy on you guys anymore. And not necessarily because of the hockey, but now because he's like, I'm going all out, I'm
because
going
he's
through
getting
all the
his
gears.
ass beat.
Yeah.
And if Sanji was there, he would be dead because he wouldn't fight back either.
No, he'd be dead. Sanji would be dead. Rip Sanji.
Mm-hmm. Rip Sanji.
Rip Sanji. But he ends up defeating the sisters and ends up climbing on one of them's back to cover their mark because their, shirt was getting burned off.
I really liked that moment too, because I don't know if Luffy realized it. Definitely he didn't realize what it meant, but he knew that they were hiding them because, the whole island would turn into stone. So he remembered that and took action to help them.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because he even said I don't want to fight you guys. And
well, I don't think he knew about
he didn't know. He didn't know.
He knew that the mark was something they wanted to protect and were willing to protect with their life. And if it was exposed, it was something that they were going to have to
live with.
They were going to have to leave the island if it was something that was exposed. But he didn't know anything about the stone.
Oh, okay.
Which made it kind of
better
to me, even more meaningful when he did it because he was doing it for them.
Yeah. I just liked that moment a lot. That was a really good moment.
I really
for
did.
Luffy. Mm-hmm.
And even kind of maybe even more so, the moment that followed right after, I loved a lot too. Luffy always does things like this, but it never gets old. And I always love to see it where Boa, because of that gesture, says okay, well, you said you needed a ship. I'll give you a ship or I'll, turn these girls back to their regular forms. Mm-hmm. Reverse stone them. And Luffy's like, yeah, okay, done. Make him normal again.
With the smile on his face. Yeah.
That is so, awesome. I love that about it. And even something in the way that the paneling was and all of it, the pacing of it, it was just you felt in the manga how quick he was yeah, okay.
Immediate.
Yeah, no thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that is his first natural gut response.
Mm-hmm.
I've fallen in love with Luffy over here. So then they explain to him, they take him back to the palace, the castle, whatever, the palace, I think, and describe to him what this mark is. He says that the mark looked familiar to him, and it is explained to be the hoof of the celestial dragons, which he thought Hachi actually had. He's like, oh, never mind. That looks more like a paw print, kind of. Kuma, paw print. I don't know. Where's the red string? It looks like a paw print, but with claws instead of little, tufts.
Yeah.
Whatever they are. Pads.
Beans.
They do kind of look like little jelly beans, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kuma beans.
But, Hachi does kind of have one. Luffy wasn't mistaken, which was, Luffy, you got lucky. Okay. You got lucky. But this is where you really fall, I think, for Boa and her sisters, and definitely feel for them when you realize that the hoof of the celestial dragons is basically a brand that they put on these slaves to mark them as property.
Yeah.
Which is, again, this part of the world gets crazier and crazier and crazier.
Yeah, and just the reaction to it too. I can only imagine what they went through, but it was rough. Even talking about it again, they were propelled back into that moment. I was like, oh my God, these poor girls.
The implications of, and that's sort of, with Oda, maybe not always going in detail with how dark things get. With lines like this that Boa says, it's almost like the ambiguity of it makes it more sinister, and the implications of what could have happened become even darker and are kind of left up to you. And if you assume the worst, and the worst is different person to person. So it really works, I think, in Oda's favor here. But Boa says a dark line. She said that the first man she ever saw instilled undying fear in me. Yeah. And it shows this panel of her just she has some sort of collar on. There's blood, it's yeah. it's left up to each person's imagination, which is, I think, why it makes it so personally horrifying.
Well, yeah, not only that we see that little glimmer, but then also like her sister's like, again, like reacting to what she's saying and like crying and holding her head. And Luffy's like, okay, like he doesn't understand. I mean, he kind of saw it back with, you know, the slave trade, but I mean, what if Kimmy was sold off? Like, Kimmy.
Yeah. That would have been, I don't want to live in that world.
Mm-mm.
She goes on more to tell the story of how they were freed. And she talks about Fish Tiger, the future leader of the Fishman pirates, who climbed the red line with his bare hands to free the slaves.
And I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt this moment with this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the panel I was talking about with Boa when Luffy opens up the curtain and she's like spread eagle.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, that's not food. I was like,
well, I mean, are you thinking that he was looking at something and then?
No, he was looking for food and then he opened the curtain and
right.
She was like spread eagle and then he was like, okay, where's the food? And she was like, never mind. I was like, what was she?
No, I mean, Boa was trying to. Yeah, you're right.
She was trying to get that Gatling.
Yeah. Oh, I think she was. Because Boa didn't need to take off her whole damn outfit.
No, she did not go spread eagle, open leg.
Yeah, here, let me show you my hoof of the celestial dragons. You know what I'm saying?
Ew!
More like my hoof of the celestial camels, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm literally gonna vomit. You've been out of control. You're out of control this episode.
I'm out of pocket, and I'm sorry. You know, when you wear, you know, a full law outfit, you become an outlaw. You know, that's all I'm saying. Podcast outlaw. Bounty. 69,000 berries.
Outlaw 2. Well, I'm 420,000.
Okay, yeah. Be that. Be that. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that panel and I just was like, what is going on here?
And that's what I do wanted to.
But that's it. That's
I wanted to touch on that for a second too, and I just wanted to say I feel like we have kind of glossed over it a little bit. We've mentioned it here and there, but you know, I really do love that this is just Luffy's reaction to everything. I think it's so refreshing. I don't mind that Sanji, if Sanji was there, he would be losing his mind. I mean, that is, you know, he is a pervy gentleman, and that is part of his character, and that's part of his character's charm. However, I love that Luffy is not that way. And a lot of, you know, shonen protagonists or shonen characters in shonen tend to be these way panty hunters. And I just love seeing Luffy, not only because Luffy he gets what's going on. He just doesn't care. That is not his priority. That's not his prerogative. That's not what he wants. Like, I mean, Luffy might as well be damn freaking asexual. Okay.
Yeah. He's not interested in that at all.
Yeah, because he's attracted to adventure. The A is for adventure. You know what I'm saying?
That was very good.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you. Law strikes again. But yeah, I just really love that. I think it was such a really cool change of pace to just see that from him, because he would be that way. That is that's who he is.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he like blushed or anything. I'd be like, who is that?
Exactly. So they talk about the future leader of the Fishman pirates, and how he basically turned the
fish or tiger.
Yes. And how he basically turned this mark, the hoof of the celestial dragons, into the symbol of the sun for the Pirates of the Sun, which Hachi must have been a part of at some point. And they do mention that the Fishman pirates did end up sort of splitting into separate factions, which goes back and recontextualizes. And we kind of learned this from Hachi just being in Saboti before, is that you know, it recontextualizes again now Arlong's pirates and how they must have been some sort of faction split off from these Pirates of the Sun, or Pirates of the Sun. So I mean, I want to go back now and re-watch or reread that through this lens.
Yeah.
And see does anybody else have those tattoos?
Yeah, I liked how, because I even noticed it before. I think I wrote it in my notes somewhere and I didn't really mention it, but I saw that Hachi put a bandage on his forehead, and someone asked him like, when did you get hurt? And he was like, it's not a big deal. So he was like trying to hide that symbol.
Well, I thought, I remember that. And I thought he was doing that because that was just like a sign of like of just
the fishmen.
Just fishmen in general.
But it's like, you're a sign of fishmen. Look at you.
Well, no, he was disguised at the point.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But now it makes even more sense because this is a very well-known symbol. And it's unclear whether or not Hachi was a slave or not because everybody got it just to make it more confusing on purpose. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That was just insane to give just that extra level of lore to Hachi's this symbol that he had on his head all the way back in Arlong Park. And I'm not saying that Oda, and it's fine. Like, this is how people write. Like, even if Oda didn't have that planned when Hachi was first introduced in Arlong Park, or the meaning of that, whether he did or didn't, like, it's executed so well, and it is just like done in a way that you can look back and it doesn't change. Well, it changes everything. But I mean, it's, how sometimes people introduce things later on in stories where you go back and you're like, well, if that was a thing, then this can't have happened. You know what I'm saying? People it kind of gets away from them. And I don't know how with thousands of chapters that nothing has seemed to like get away from Oda. Oda has like a good grasp on like all these loose ends that he's constantly like tying together. Nothing's getting tangled.
Yeah, he must be like a master at like Post-its or something, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Millions of Post-its everywhere. Don't forget.
Yeah, so after that, this is why she said they were fed devil fruits as slaves for fun. And then she confesses, breaks down in tears saying like, this is why she never wants to be controlled again. This is why when the military comes and demands things of her, or when anybody demands anything of her, she's like, no, I live by my own terms because I know what captivity was. I know what slavery was. And I never want to be that again. I never want to be in that again. She's just like streaming tears. And that's where, Neon says like, well, I mean, treat me with some respect. I mean, I was the one who found you guys when you were wandering around and I brought you back here.
And that's where they realize who Luffy is.
Yes.
Which was awesome. Like, I could see the glimmer in Boa's eyes like, oh my God, you stood up to one of the... She's like twisting her hair. She's like, you stood up to one of the... That's
what did it.
Yeah, for sure. Because they're like, oh my God. Because not only is he like badass, but like no one would ever think to do that. He's like, yeah, I punched the celestial dragon in the face. I don't care. And they're like, she's like... And she's like, say it again. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's really what did it for her. I think that's when she really fell for Luffy and said like, yeah, you can use my ship. You can do whatever you want. You know? And I love that she gets like sick.
Yeah.
And she's lovesick.
Yeah.
Like what a funny thing, Oda, like to actually make her sick. And how there's like no cure. She's like, I once had that. I got cured. Like she's like, what is it? What? Men.
Well, if you close your heart off for too long, you might not ever be able to come back. And that's a scary thing. They don't teach you that in the game.
Oh, they don't. Huh?
They don't teach you about that stuff. Luffy has a little farewell party. A lot of fun. A lot of funny moments.
Love it. Yeah, they're like paying for like women to touch him.
Yeah, I think
and he's just running away. He's like, no.
Yeah. So it was a hilarious, chapter or moment in a chapter. Then Neon tells Luffy about the agreement with the military, and because of that newspaper that she has about Ace's execution that's happening in 6 days.
And Luffy's like, what?
Yeah. And he's like, well, how long is it going to take to get there? And she's like, I forget exactly what she says, but she said it's going to take 7 days.
Like, he's going to be long dead.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Luffy's face, it was like...
Yeah. And she says, unless you can get aboard a military vessel, and then you can get there in 4 days. And they kind of show this diagram in this map of the facilities, the military facilities, and how they are this sort of like, kind of triangle shape, but there's this current that it's just a current that kind of attaches all of them in a weird way. And so if you get beyond the gates of justice and catch that current, you'll be able to rapidly be transported from facility to facility.
Yeah, once the gate opens. But if the gate's closed, then you're consistently
in a constant loop, right? Yeah. Again, Oda didn't have to do that, but he did. So now Luffy, earlier he had said like, yeah, this will be fine. Now he's looking at that Vivir paper, that Vivir card, and he's like, yeah, I gotta go. Like,
yeah, and he even like apologizes to the Straw Hats in that moment. He's just like, I'm sorry, guys, but I mean, even they said like, are you sure you want to go? Because we could take a break. You know, we can go find your brother. And he goes, nah. But now it's so severe where he has to go.
And that panel was beautiful. That panel where he's just, there holding the paper, which represents the life force of his brother and his crew and everything that they've been through and the bond that they formed and the pain that he feels from not being able to defend them and protect them. He's just looking down at this paper. It seems like everything around him is just like crumbling, and he just like apologizes to them and tells them like, I'm sorry. Like, I have to go do this. A crazy moment for Luffy. I mean, a crazy moment for him.
I know.
Nyan basically accepts. She has the idea, and I think she wants what's best for Luffy and Ace, sure, but she also wants what's best for her island too. So she says,
Boa.
So she's saying that if you can convince Boa to accept that summons, then the agreement will still be in place. We can protect our island, and it's like it works for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Benefits both of us. The lovesick thing happens. They go talk to Boa. Just so funny. I mean, that's what kind of it's not just having like a traumatic and horrible backstory that I think is what made me empathize with Boa, but it is just this like that she has this like cute side and has grown this affinity and this love and kind of like this obsession for Luffy of all people.
I know.
Crazy.
I know. And it's hilarious. Like, I mean, we haven't necessarily really seen it. I mean, I feel like Sanji's it just is so one-sided with him, with like Robin and like Nami. It's more of just like, I'll do anything for you. But this is like actually like butterflies. Like, I don't think I've seen this really. Last time I saw it, I felt for it when we saw like Usopp and I forget the girl's name. Dang it, the sick girl. I felt like she really loved Usopp. Like, I could feel that. But now it's like there's love again. There's love in One Piece.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, Luffy, I don't think will ever come around. But I want Boa to keep chasing him. I mean, especially he has a freaking Warlord of the Sea chasing him. That's freaking. I mean, Luffy.
Baller.
Luffy got game.
They're gonna be like, "Who is this?" Sanji's gonna be like, "Who is this?" Luffy?
Yeah, they're gonna lose their shit.
She's gonna be like, "Don't talk to me, you scum." She's like,
yeah, leaning all the way
back.
So this is where Boa agrees to the plan. Sneaks aboard the ship. Luffy's like under her cape, holding her. Very funny. And it cuts back to this is where things get fucking crazy.
And I did love this part too, where she's asking for food on the ship, and she needs like a crazy amount of food, and she's like giving it to Luffy. She has like fantasy of like feeding Luffy. He's like, "Oh, it tastes so much better when you feed it to me." She's like, "Imagine if he said that though."
Yeah,
it's just so funny and cute. Like it's like the first time we're seeing like someone love Luffy like this.
And that was a funny line too. I forgot exactly what the line was, where he was like, that was like something about like, that was delicious, or that was like, I'm so satisfied, or something crazy. Like, oh, that's delicious. And then she's like, Luffy, keep it down. Like, they're going to hear you. And then someone's like, Boa, it sounds like someone's in there with you. And then they're like, Boa would never say something like that.
It's like, oh, I'm so stuffed or something. Yeah. And then she opens the door.
And the guy's like, if Boa Hancock said that, then I'll freaking shave my head into a mohawk or whatever. And then she's like, I'm stuffed. And then their hair, just turns into mohawks.
Yeah. And he's like, wow, okay, she said it. She actually said it.
Yeah.
So hilarious. But yeah, then we get to see finally.
Well, this is like, dude, this is where it really comes down. Again, like, I'm sorry, but again, you can't have all of this without every arc that's come before it. You have to have those things to be here.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like we're building up to something. Like, I thought we were building up to something in Water 7. I thought we were building up to something in Annie's Lobby, which we kind of were and are.
I'm telling you, we got the Thanos snap, we got the Thanos blip, but now we're going to Infinity War.
I mean, this is Endgame.
It is.
This is Endgame.
It really does feel that way.
Yeah.
Because all these characters we've been like seeing fight and everyone's abilities, like everyone is in the same place now.
Yeah. I mean, this is where Sengoku receives the news that Boa is joining them. And so he's like, okay, cool. I got 6 of the 7 warlords lit. I got 6 of the 7. And the one I thought was going to be the easiest to get, our prisoner, is the only one that's not cooperating. And that is a guy by the name of Jinbei, who I don't know, man, but I think he looks an awful like some other guy that I've seen.
Don't.
I'm just saying, like, what? But now it's also so cool too, because now we know and have it confirmed the 7 warlords. I mean, like, we've gone through enough of the story to know who they all are.
And they're all sitting at a table.
Amazing. I mean, it's like the freaking Last Supper, dude.
It really is.
And I would, if there's a painting of the 7 warlords of the sea sitting at a table painted in the style of the Last Supper, I will frame that.
Luffy's Jesus?
Well, I mean, he's not a warlord.
Yeah, but he'll be in the middle.
I think
1,
this is
2,
just
3,
the warlords.
4, 5, 6, 7. It'll even.
Oh, well, I mean, you got to put Jinbei in there. You know, he's a warlord, right?
All of them will be there, but Luffy will be in the middle.
I mean, you can. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, Luffy wouldn't just be hanging out with those guys.
Okay, then who would be in the middle?
I mean, you just sit them all at a table. I mean, they
The
could
Last
just be all at a
Supper.
table. I mean, you're really hung up on I think the composition of the painting of the Last Supper.
7, or I want to see them playing like dog poker.
Okay, see, there you go. That could be your painting. You can have them in Chopper's the Dealer. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I like
maybe
it.
all the cute One Piece animals sitting around a table playing poker at Chopper's the Dealer. That'd be cool.
Yeah, he has a little dealer hat on.
Yeah,
and a little vest too.
Yeah,
the bow tie on.
Yeah,
and he picks up the cards like his hose like that.
Yeah.
Somebody
get on that.
You like this? It is.
Well, it's not gonna be emotion, but yeah, you could think that. Yeah, you can imagine that head canon, you know. So we have it confirmed here, and we also have it confirmed that Whitebeard is on the move, and that he's taking out all 23 of the surveillance ships in his main vessel, the Moby Dick. All right. So
it all comes back to the
it all comes back to the dick.
To the D.
Yeah. This is like when Garp goes down to initially start to talk to Ace, and he sees Ace, you know, like just
Griffithed out.
Just Griffithed out. Yes. This is before their conversation really kicks off. We just see him kind of go down there, and he's like, well, look what we have here. And then their conversation kind of is what ends this arc. But in the meantime, we finally get to see where the straw hats all are.
And it's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was obsessed.
I'm obsessed. And that's what I'm saying. Kuma is up to something. I do not know. I don't know if he's necessarily good. He works with the government. Yes, there are the pacifistas that he may or may not even be. He might not even freaking like those things.
He might be a pacifista.
Yeah, a pacifistaist.
Yeah.
Yes. Because, I mean, they could have just made them. It could have been some agreement with the government. I don't know. But the point is, the real Kuma you're telling me that if Kuma was an enemy, that he would send Nami, the navigator, you know, with a climate baton, he would send Nami to the small sky island of Weatheria? I think not. I mean, I think not. If he was truly an enemy, he is a pirate first. So he's maybe trying to usher, listen, we haven't done a theory in a minute. Maybe he is maybe he isn't like necessarily on the sides of the Straw Hats, but he's on the side of the new world. And he's trying to usher in this new era. And it's not that maybe Kuma is also someone who's like, yeah, dude, I play, I don't know. Is there significance to him having a Bible in his hand? You know, because is he like playing both sides? Is he saying like, well, I'm just like, either way, I'm good. If pirates win, I'm good. If freaking government wins, I'm good. No, because he's pushing the pirates. I mean, you have any thoughts? You have any theories?
I mean, no. No, honestly, my only theory is that maybe we're just reading too much. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Maybe he just sent them random places.
Possible.
Maybe we just sent them random places.
This is not okay. One thing I'm not reading into, and one thing that is 100% for sure, is he did not send them to random places, because he sent Nami to the sky island of Weatheria. He sent Frankie to a mechanical island, Futureland Baltimore. I do not think that was a coincidence. He sent Sanji to Peachy Island, the island of dreams, the second island of women. Do not think that.
Who got sent to Winter Island?
Was a coincidence. The mechanical island is a winter island. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He sent Usopp to the Bowen Island, the Glenston, the forest of bandits. Okay. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think Brooks was the funniest one to me.
Hilarious.
Brooks was
so random.
So random. So funny.
Show me panties now.
Colts exist in One Piece, and they're like trying to summon like demons.
Yeah, I know.
And they summon him, and he's just like comes up from the like this like pentagram that has a paw in it now. And they're just like, he's like, where are the others? I need to, he's like, or, in his voice, I need to get back to the others. And they're like, have we not pleased you, Dark Lord? Do you need more blood, more sacrifice? And he's like, show me your panties right now. But it's just, because it's like a girl and dude, it's so funny.
And then they literally say, like, they literally scream at her, like, do it now, because I think he's like a demon.
Yeah, and he's like, yo.
That's pretty good.
That was hilarious. We got Robin, and she's at Tequila Wolf, Bridge Top Nation.
What a crazy name. Tequila Wolf?
Tequila Wolf. It's a bridgetop nation. And it's really a nation atop a bridge. And it's a bridge that's being built from island to island. Do we know what two islands it's connecting? I don't think so. Is that a coincidence?
It's a bridge to history.
I don't think so. It's a bridge to history.
Creating a bridge.
Connecting. I think most...
The past and the present.
And the future. They've been working on it for 700 years. Coincidentally, the timelines of the world government takeover, coalesce, coincide, correspond with all these happening. So I think they're connecting two islands that benefit the world government, don't benefit anybody else. Choppy Baby. Where's Choppy Baby at? He's at none other than Treasure Island, or this place known as Treasure Island, in the Birdie Kingdom, which is said to be an island that like birds rule humans. Now, what do you think Choppy Baby's going to get up to on
I have no idea.
Treasure Island?
And I hope I see a lot. I hope we see a lot of him, and I hope he's safe.
Now, how excited were you when Perona? I did not think she was going to show back up this early. I know there's a time skip version of her. Had no idea that she was going to show up here again this quickly.
Yeah, I had no idea either.
And with Zoro, crazy. And they are on Gloom Island in the ruins of the Muggy Kingdom. And I wonder if we're ever going to find out what happened in the Muggy Kingdom. I want Robin to tell me. I'm sure it's come up in her research. What happened in the Muggy Kingdom? I need to know.
What happened in the... You get that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. What happened in the... I'm like protesting. What happened in the Muggy Kingdom?
Tell me, Robin.
Please. And it's like, I'm Boa, not Robin.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Oh, sorry. My
you guys
mistake.
look the freaking same. But yeah, how did you feel about all these locations that the Straw Hats were sent to? It can't be coincidence.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know what it could be. I mean, I can speculate. I have no idea when it'll be revealed. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what else to look for, because once it happens, then you connect all the dots. Before anything could be anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A little guy in the back. Oh, that guy actually was involved in. I'm like, huh?
Maybe. I mean, I think sometimes it is fun to put the pieces together, because it does seem like they're all there, and that's what's so good about writing a story that has elements of mystery to it. Is that you have this sense. Sometimes you're like, I have no idea what is going to happen, and sometimes you don't know, but you feel like I have all the information. I just haven't been able to put it together.
But it's like, why would he do that?
That's what I'm saying. He is a pirate first and works for the government second. Working for the government must benefit him in some way. But again, I think he does want to usher in this new age of pirates. I really do think that it doesn't mean he's necessarily on the side of the Straw Hats, but he is on the side of the new age. And I'm just saying that, and we'll see. Maybe we'll get more information as to why exactly.
Yeah, hopefully an Impel Down.
Hopefully. And maybe I'm wrong, but
I'm hoping.
You're hoping I'm wrong?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm hoping that we find out soon.
And where this crazy, amazing, awesome, so much fun arc ends is all the forces of justice begin to gather together at Navy headquarters. I mean, we got people, to name a few, this is like the freaking Met Gala.
It really is.
Of the freaking military.
It really is. They're all showing up and showing out.
Showing up and showing out. And to name a few, we got Smoker. Smoker, over here. Smoker, huge fan of your devil fruit.
Smoker, I love you.
Yeah, you
love
Logia-type devil fruit. Is that true that you came across the Straw Hats and let him get away? Smoker, over here. Tashigi, over here. Over here. Is it true that you came across Ronar or Zoro and you let him go and that he defeated you? Is that true? Aokiji. Oh, over here. Aokiji, over here. No pictures.
Oh, ice cold as always, Aokiji.
Yes. Kuza. I mean, everybody's there. And then we get that awesome panel of the Warlords. Six of the Warlords of the sea. Well, 5 because Boa's not there. Of the sea together, and they're all looking and they're all eating and they're all free. And you got Gecko, freaking goofy ass Gecko sitting there too, and they're all eating.
Yeah, he's huge.
For being
but
Mihawk
back.
Yes,
haven't seen him in a mini.
I'm just saying, dude, it's freaking lit. It's so lit. And they're all there, and they're just thinking like, oh yeah, these guys can never work together. There's like a line somewhere there that says that they realize that they cannot work together. And then Garp, it cuts back to Garp down in the dungeon with Ace again. And Garp kind of leans in, and you see Ace, I feel like Ace says, the word bubble's not there, but from Garp's like follow-up line, you're like, killing you won't change anything, son. And it's like, was Ace like, freaking just kill me now, dude?
I know.
He's like, killing you won't change anything. He said, we've already angered the king of the sea. And then that's where it is. And that's where it is. We've angered the king of the sea. Literal king, Whitebeard, Luffy. I mean, who? I don't know. But what I do know is that once again, I'm more excited than ever to continue.
Yeah.
Impel Down is about to go freaking down.
Yeah, that's why it's called that.
It's called Impel Down because it goes down and Impel Down.
And the implications are insane. The
implication is it's going down. Yes. I'm so excited. Mehgan, sum up this arc. We've said a lot. We've talked a lot about our feelings, but like sum up your feelings, I guess.
I mean, it was great to have alone time with Luffy. I feel like we haven't really got that ever. I mean, we see him like, walking around in a huge snake and trying to get out, but that's more goofy than anything else. Like here, he got some really solid moments, and he really did show what he's capable of without his crew, which was important too because he is the captain. Like he does step up often, and he does do what he does do great, but it was great to see him do these things on his own and make decisions on his own and like stand up for, again, like the weak and all these implications that we've known from him and for the future. Like it's just crazy. I mean, it was nice going from obviously like the last volume, like really heavy stuff, and coming into this, it was obviously ramping up again, but it was a little less, stressful in the beginning. And we get to meet Boa. She's awesome. And I really did appreciate Oda didn't really necessarily have to show us where the Straw Hats were in this volume, but it was cool to know that obviously they're okay. And, all those seeds planted, like, oh, I wonder what they're going to get into. Hopefully we get to see that. I'm not sure how much of that will take up the time of Impel Down. I'm sure that maybe even later that we'll get that. I don't know when they'll be reunited. Who knows? Like,
part of me, and this is like, I am really reaching here. I can't, I don't know. I can't imagine part of me has a hard time imagining that the Straw Hats won't reunite until, the time skip. But part of me feels like that them spending all these times on these islands that coincidentally, have to do with the things that they are also like good at doing.
You think they'll be there until they meet again?
I think that maybe when they meet again, like maybe this is where Frankie gets upgrades. Maybe this is where, Nami's hair grows. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know, but it would make a little bit of sense. And maybe that's a reach. I don't know, but I'm excited to see. I've heard nothing but great things about Impel Down. And speaking of Impel Down, we have a another collab set up for, I think is going to be our part 2 Impel Down video. It's going to be amazing. I think guessing last time was a lot of fun. Most people got it last time. So if you stayed this long, then leave a comment down below guessing who you think our collab is going to be in our Impel Down part 2 video. I gave you a hint last time that I think was a pretty vague hint. If I could give, if your hint that you wanted to give, I think is a little too on the nose. But I will say that this is you know what? You can't give a hint. It's gonna make it too obvious. Just look forward to it and
comment who you think it is.
Yeah, and comment your guesses down below. I do agree with everything you said, Mehgan. It was so fun to see Luffy again. Like I said, I've grown to respect Luffy, but in this arc, I've now grown to like love him. It was so nice to see him and Boa, bounce off each other. Him, away from the Straw Hats for a little while, and to see a peek of where the Straw Hats are at and what is possibly going to happen or what could possibly happen. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so jazzed. I'm so energized. I'm so excited to keep reading because Impel Down's about to be freaking crazy. But that is going to do it for another Done Piece episode. Amazon Lily arc done pieced. But we're not done yet. Before we go, we have to thank our wonderful, beautiful, amazing Patreon members. And to shake it up a little bit, Mehgan, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think that our wonderful, beautiful, amazing Patreon members would really appreciate a thank you from the one and only Boa.
Oh God, I don't know what to say. Thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate it. We were able to buy, these cosplays and work on the podcast because of you. And we could not do it without you guys. We are like consistently blown away by your support and all of the great comments you leave on the Patreon and all of the people who watch early.
I do
want
to say
excited.
That too. I'm really sorry to cut you off. I really do. I'm so sorry. I'll let you go back. But you touched on something. This is why I like when you take the reins sometimes, because you touched on something I wouldn't have remembered to touch on. But it is really starting to feel like there is a community now forming, like on our Patreon as well. Like we have a beautiful community on YouTube and, in our Discord. But now it starts to feel with the early access, like there's a new community forming there, and it's like an active community. And I love it, like you said, seeing all the comments and just seeing people kind of go back and forth and post stuff there as well. But go ahead. That was a great point. You're killing it.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, and we are always blown away by your support, and we love you guys so much. I don't know when that goes, the timer, it's still going.
You're good.
Yes, we love you all so much, and I'm so awkward. Thank you guys so much for all of your support.
Yes.
Don't turn to stone, huh?
Yeah, don't turn to stone. You make our hearts
heavy.
No, heavy heart.
In a good way.
I don't know if you could just say
with
that.
Love.
With love. You turn our stone hearts
to gold.
Regular
hearts. Beating.
Yes, regular beating hearts.
You chip away at our stone hearts.
You have chipped completely away the stone around our hearts.
And now we are.
You could have. That was it.
Hard as a rock for you.
Okay.
That was good.
All right.
Huh?
We are hard as a rock for you. You make the show what it is. You allow us to put everything that we've been able to put into the show. You allow us to be able to put all of that into it. So you are responsible for making our show, all of our show, you watching and listening to what it is. And we couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much. And if you would like to become a Patreon member and get early access to all of our videos and access to our exclusive bonus Patreon podcast, Volume 1 Extra, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/volume1pod or click join on this video. And if you cannot support financially, do not worry. Do not worry. Do not worry. Please do not worry. Because there are many other ways that you can support us that do not involve money at all. And we appreciate them just as much, and they help us out just as much. And some ways that you can do that are by just liking, commenting, subscribing. I know everybody tells you to do that, but especially we are long form videos. Our videos are long form videos. The algorithm does not like this type of content and doesn't favor this type of content. So view duration, retention, liking, subscribing, like commenting, engagement, all those things.
Sharing.
Like, they help everybody. Sharing. They help everybody, but I mean, they really do help us a lot. And we really do appreciate that. And, and you know, even reviews, if you do listen to the audio version of this, leaving a review on whatever platform you listen to, if there's an option to do that. I mean, all that stuff really, really helps us. We have seen so much growth, and it feels like we have been able to connect with such a larger part of this community, and it blows me away every day. It blows us away. Like I said, like I am so, you know, I feel just so full of life from this community in this series. And I love it more and more every day, every video, every time I read it. And it's just awesome to be able to share that with Mehgan and to be able to share that with all of you guys watching, listening too. But that is going to do it for another Done Piece episode. Thank you for watching and listening, especially if you're all the way here at the very end. But the only thing we have left to do now is to get out of here on our outro. That is always the same and never changes, which, Mehgan, go ahead, hit him with it. Hit him with it. Let's go, Mehgan. Boa Hancock. Yeah, it's hard as a rock. I like that.
Solid as a rock.
I tell you, I mean, that's fine.
Hard as a rock?
Well, didn't you say that for the Patreon? So you can't just.
We're going to go out on hard as a rock?
I'm hard as a rock.
I don't want.
Okay. Okay, keep going. This is your territory. I can't. Amazon.
Love, we gotta go.
I'm gonna be honest, Mehgan. You know, last couple episodes, crushing it. Even with the Patreon thing, crushed it. Love, gotta go. I don't love it, but we do gotta go, and I will say it with enthusiasm.
Okay, why don't you come up with one?
I can't.
You can, I know.
Okay, we'll just say love, gotta go. Get your hands off my family jewels. Hands off my family jewels.
Snake in the grass.
Okay, but we're just gonna say snake in the grass?
No.
Get your hands on my family jewels. Okay, love, gotta go.
I like hands off my family jewels, yeah.
Okay, so until next time, keep your hands off my family jewels.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time, keep your hands off my family jewels. Or keep them on.
Yeah.